Of matter. Let's begin with a little bit of background. What some of these things that we're going to see are. First off, heat is the transfer of thermal energy. And now there's three different ways to transfer heat, and one of them is conduction, transfer of heat through direct contact, as you can see by our little stove. Convection, transfer of heat through fluids, the boiling water here, for example. And radiation, transfer of heat through electromagnetic waves, like the sun. The first phase is also the lowest energy phase. It is a solid. A solid is a substance that has a low enough temperature that the molecules tend to not move as much and follow a little bit of an orderly fashion. And it is also the substance with the state with the lowest energy, due to the fact that to break the bonds you need to absorb energy, but to create them you need to release energy. As we can see here, we have a picture of a little rectangle with little molecules inside, very closely knit.
It's boiling water. It's nice.
No. Okay. So next we have melting, which is the phase change from solid to liquid. This happens when the temperature is increased enough to kind of start to break the bonds. As I said, it goes from a solid to a liquid, and during this phase change, the temperature remains constant, but the total energy in there increases. When something goes from a liquid to a solid, that's known as freezing, and that's when it loses enough energy that the bonds are created. The next phase is liquid. It is a higher molecule movement than solid, but a lower one than gas. And it also has a lower energy, like lower total energy from gas, and a higher amount than solids do. And it also has a higher potential energy and kinetic energy than solid, and also a lower one than gas. So up here we have a little drawing of a bunch of little molecules that are there that are less orderly than solid, but still somewhat orderly, because the bonds still somewhat exist, just not as much.
Here we have a diagram of the transfer from liquid to gas. So we have heat energy coming off of the sun via radiation to the water here. The water in turn is heating up and evaporating, becoming a cloud. We also have one that returns the gas back to water, because as the gas, which here we have coming off of a shower, loses energy, it condenses on the colder window, which is borrowing some of its heat energy, causing it to turn back into water droplets.
The gas phase is the one with the most energy, since to get to a gas you need to have melted and then evaporated, so you absorbed a lot of energy on the way. And it also has the weakest bonds. It also has the very high kinetic energy due to the extremely high temperatures that it needs to be a gas. The molecules move very fast, and they spread out a lot, as you can see here. And this is just a picture of a gas cloud.
Here we have, in conclusion, a graph of the changes of the phases of matter. Here we have, this is through water, so we have ice at negative 50 degrees Celsius, if it ever decides to focus, going up to 0 degrees Celsius, where it begins to melt and becomes water. And as the water heats up to about 100 degrees Celsius, it'll vaporize and become steam, where the steam is above 100 degrees Celsius, or over 540 calories of heat. And here we have the people responsible for this project: Evan, Alex, Harold, and Ryan, the dastardly traitor.